Hello, I've had a haircut. Welcome to another physical media update. Um, I've got 4 DVDs here. We'll start off with the Doctor Who title. I've noticed that the past few updates I've done have all had at least one Doctor Who title, and I apologise to anyone who just doesn't care about Doctor Who and who watches these videos and has had to hear me waffle on about the show so much. But yeah, this is Dreamland. It's a animated special featuring David Tennant as obviously is the 10th Doctor. It was made in about 2010 or so around the time he left, like just before he left, I think. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's sort of about him. He ends up in Area 51 in the 1950s. That's what the title is referring to, because Area 51 was also known as Dreamland. And yeah, it's a pretty good story. You can easily see it being a proper episode of the show. What lets it down is the animation. Don't know if you can see from the stills, but the animation isn't the best. I mean, to be fair, it was done 15 years ago on a pretty low budget, but still, it doesn't look that great, which is a shame because otherwise it's quite a good story. This DVD also includes, so it's got 2 discs. So it's got the actual Dreamland episode and then a second disc featuring Doctor Who's greatest moments, so like 3 documentaries. So you got greatest moments of the Doctor, greatest moments of the companions, greatest moments of the enemies. I think it's the greatest moments from New Who specifically. I don't think it has any like classic series stuff. This is out of print. It's not like super rare or anything, but you'd have to pay a few quid. So I ended up paying about £6 for this from Music Magpie's eBay shop, which is a little more than I'd like to pay for a 44-minute episode on DVD. But yeah, at least I have it. And even if you're not that fussed in the episode, it's probably worth getting just for the documentaries if you're a fan. But yeah, that's Dreamland. If you are a fan of Doctor, I would recommend that set, both for the extra disc and because the episode itself quite decent. Next, and I also got this from Music Magpie's eBay shop. In fact, they were in a buy 2 get 5% off offer. We have one of the worst films ever made, The Conqueror with John Wayne. So this is the infamous biopic of Genghis Khan, starring the Duke as Genghis Khan. And which is probably like I don't think there's ever been an actor more miscast in a role than John Wayne in this film. Like, even like apparently like for years after this film, if you brought it up, he would like shudder because he was just so embarrassed, because he was like, even he knew he was miscast in this. Like, he didn't want to make the film, but he had to because of contractual reasons, and he always like said it was like the worst mistake he ever made was being in this film. Yeah, so I have seen this before on TV, and it is a bit of a guilty pleasure of mine because it's quite enjoyable in a so bad it's good way, just because of how badly cast it is. Not just that, there's like problems with the script too. It's not even with an actor who wasn't as badly miscast, it still wouldn't be a very good film. But yeah, I got this partly because sometimes my friends and I, we haven't done it in a while, but we sometimes we get together and we watch crap films for a laugh. And I thought this might be a good one to watch because it is quite funny. And then yesterday, these last 2, yesterday I was in Whitley Bay looking around the charity shops, and I picked these 2 up from 2 separate shops. This first one was from the PDSA. We have Clint Eastwood, In the Line of Fire, directed by Wolfgang Petersen, who did Das Boot and Troy, which are my 2 of my favourite films. Yeah, so this is basically, I've heard it's a very good film. I've never seen it. Basically, Clint Eastwood, he's a Secret Service agent, and he was there at the JFK assassination, and he feels guilty because he didn't manage to save President Kennedy from being assassinated. And then it's 30 years later, the early 90s, and there's been John Malkovich plays an assassin who is planning on killing the current president, and so Clint Eastwood's basically trying to stop him. Yeah, heard it's very good. This film is available on Blu-ray and 4K. Normally, I wouldn't buy a film on DVD if it's available in a better format. But I was wanting to watch this anyway. In fact, I was planning to rent it from Apple TV or Amazon or somewhere like that, like a digital thing, like rent it for a few quid. But so it was for 99 pence, and I thought, well, that's cheaper than it would be to rent it from like Amazon Video. I can always just upgrade to a better copy later. This is the original Bare Bones DVD. You can see in the back there. And there's the disc. This is the original Bare Bones release. There was a special edition. Was it a special collector's edition? There's a version with extras released later. Also, both DVDs the UK versions are cut for violence. It was cut to get a 15 certificate back in the day. It has subsequently been reclassified uncut as a 15, so if you buy it on Blu-ray or 4K, it is uncut. It's always funny, like, when a film's cut for a specific age certificate, and then years later it gets released uncut with the same certificate. Isn't that quite funny? So yeah, not the best version of this film to have, being bare bones and cut, but like I say, it's not even a quid, and if I like the film, I can always buy an uncut version later. So yeah, in the line of fire. And then finally we have The Rutles, All You Need Is Cash. This was from Scope for £1. So for those of you who don't know what The Rutles is, it was a sketch created by Eric Idle and what's his name, the guy from the Neil Innes. And it was a sketch. It was basically like a parody of the Beatles, and it was originally a sketch they did for the show Rutland Weekend Television. And it was so popular, it ended up getting made into like a TV movie. It's a mockumentary about the Rutles career, but it's like parodying the Beatles career. And I love this film. It's very, very funny, especially if you're a Beatles fan, like picking up on all the little sort of references to their sort of story. But also the songs themselves are brilliant. Like Neil Innes wrote the songs, and they're meant to be like pastiches of Beatles songs, but they're really, really good. And some of them genuinely sound like they could be like actual Beatles songs. They're that good. It's worth. If I would recommend going on like whatever your preferred music streaming thing is, like Spotify, Apple Music. Look up the Rutles, like the soundtrack album to this, because the songs are fantastic. This is the special edition, so it's got deleted scenes, commentary by Eric Idle, and an introduction by Eric Idle. This is the longer cut of the film, the 76-minute version. There is also a shorter 66-minute version, so you want to make sure you get the longer one, because it is better. But there's the inside, the disc, and advertising some of the DVDs. And the Beatles themselves were apparently fans of this. George Harrison's actually got a cameo in it. I think Paul McCartney wasn't so fussed on it, but the other three really loved it, especially George, because he's in it as well. And just really, really fun if you're a Beatles fan. Even if you're not, it's just a funny mockumentary as well. So yeah, The Rutles, All You Need Is Cash. So that's the end of the update. As always, let me know in the comments if you've seen any of the films, what you thought of them. Please give the video a like, and I'll see you all next time.